You're welcome to Elections 101 and 5, a program that simplifies Nigeria's electoral process and provides you with better understanding of the 2022 Electoral Act. On this show, we focus on how and not who to vote. The show is brought to you by YAGA Africa and supported by the UNDP. I'm Samson Itodo, and let's get started. What are the conditions for a runoff election? We went to the streets to hear what Nigerians have to say and hear the voices from the street.
Like that, time factor, and shutdown run. Natural disaster.
Natural disaster. 2, pairing of both candidates, or 2 or 3, both on INEC conditions and rules. 3, death.
Now, let's begin. What is a runoff election? A runoff is a voting system used to elect a single winner where no candidate emerges from an election in the first round. Recall in previous episode, we highlighted the 2 conditions a candidate must meet to be declared a winner of the presidential election based on provisions of the 1999 Constitution as amended and the 2022 Electoral Act. For the presidential elections, for instance, not all 18 registered political parties sponsoring candidates will participate in a runoff election. Only 2 candidates will be on the ballot for a runoff election. So, in case of a second round, which is, a runoff, who will make it to the ballot? The first will be the candidate who secured the highest number of votes. That will be the first candidate on the ballot. And now the second candidate. The second candidate is the one among the remaining candidates who has a majority of votes in the highest number of states. A majority of votes in the highest number of states. This condition is necessary because the framers of our Constitution, want only candidates with national acceptance. That's why there's a criteria for the spread. And the reason is, in a presidential election, the entire country is considered one constituency. And so, to be declared and a president, you need to have won not just majority of votes, but you should have a spread. And that spread actually depicts national acceptance. Assuming none of these 15 candidates meets the criteria of 1, the highest number of votes and the 25% of vote cast in 24 out of 36 states, INEC will conduct a runoff within 21 days from the day of the declaration of results. The 2 candidates that will be on the ballot for runoff will be 1, candidate X, who scored the highest number of votes in the first round. That will be the first. The second candidate, INEC will now check the other 14 candidates for the one who has majority of votes in the highest number of states. One who has majority of votes in the highest number of states out of the remaining 14 candidates. Now, where there is more than one candidate with majority of votes in the highest number of states, so if there's a tie, INEC will pick the candidate with the highest number of votes as the second candidate. And what this simply means is that in the event where, in considering the remaining candidates, there is more than one candidate who secured majority of votes in the highest number of states, INEC will now check of these candidates who has the highest number of votes, and that will determine who will be the second candidate in a runoff. So it appears that we might see a situation where somebody or a candidate who came second, in the first round may not make it to the runoff election because the criteria for the second candidate is the candidate who has majority of votes in the highest number of states. And, INEC is not taking chances in the 2023 election, and the Commission has printed additional ballot papers in the event that there is a presidential runoff election after the February 25th presidential elections. It is worthy to note that victory in a runoff is by simple majority. Simple majority is the criteria and the method of determining a winner in a runoff elections. And that's election 101 in 5. Now you know the conditions for a runoff election and which candidates will make it to a runoff election. We would appreciate your feedback, so you can reach us on any of the platforms displayed on your screen, because this show is about you. If you have topics you want us to address or questions, please feel free to email us and we will take it on the show. And that's our show for tonight. Get ready to vote on February 25th and March 11, 2023, because our lives depend on it. Thank you for watching. I'm Samson Itodo, and I'll see you tomorrow as we simplify another complex aspect of Nigeria's electoral process. Bye for now.